Okay, so the question we're looking at right now is to calculate 98% confidence interval for the true proportion of children who are deficient in vitamin D. So the true proportion of children who are deficient in vitamin D. So in the question, we're told that the recent study of 2,900 children randomly selected found 20% of them deficient in vitamin D. So here it says the p hat is 0.2. So the confidence interval, you have the lower bound and the lower bound and the higher bound. The lower bound is p hat minus z times standard error of p hat. And the upper bound you will just use the plus sign instead of minus sign. So you know that you are told the p hat and the sample size, but the standard error, this number SE parenthesis p hat, can be calculated by square root of PQ over N. So now you will also need to find out the Z. What is the Z? So because it's 98%, we can use the StatCrunch to find out what the Z is. Close that. So go to Stats, go to Normal, keep the mean 0, standard deviation 1. I'll choose this greater sign. And this number is 0. And I need to fill in the probability. So 98% interval means you have 98. Like if it's normal distribution, you have 98% in the middle, which means you have 1% on each side. So I will see this point of 1% on the higher bound. So my Z is this number, 2.326. I already copied it here, to this number. I copied it here already. And then we need to calculate the square root of this. This is how I calculate this. So the equal sign p hat 0.2 minus the z times square root of pq over n, and you hit enter. So I got the lower bound. This number, you can use your calculator to calculate this number as well. The way I'm using the Excel is I want to show you like how to plug in the numbers. Similarly, for the upper bound 0.2 plus z times square root pq over n, here's how I plug in a number. I put equal sign at the beginning, 0.2 plus z, this number, times square root of 0.2 times 0.8 over the n, which is 2,900. Here's my upper bound. That's how I get this confidence interval. So those are the meanings of the confidence interval. And we talk about this question 9 and 10, so you can look at by yourself. So for this one, okay, confidence interval. Let's talk about 17 first, because it's also about confidence interval. Okay, here's this. Use the sample data and confidence level to construct the confidence interval estimate of the proportion P. Yeah, it's about the P again, so you have the same formula here. But in this case, they don't tell you the p hat, right? They don't tell you the p hat. They tell you the x and n. So normally we'll use x is the number of success. So you can use x and n to calculate the p hat. So here I show you p hat is equal to x over n. So I get this number is let me see, 300 over 500, so 0.6. So I get the p hat is 0.6 and minus z, because 90% interval, so the z will be different from this number. So what we need to do, I will show you. So this time, because 90% interval, so imagine that you have 90% in the middle, which means you will have 5% on each side, 0.05. So this is the z for the 90% interval. 1.6, I copied that number here already. So plug into this formula. You see the p hat minus 1.6 z times square root pq over n. Here I just put equal sign here, plus enter. I get this number. So this will be my lower bound, which is, see, round to 3 decimals, 0.564. And the upper bound, you will just use the plus sign here instead of minus here. The same thing here, see, I just equal and plug in this formula, hit enter, I'll get this upper bound, which is 0.636. Here it is, yeah. So similarly, you can use your calculator to plug in those values step by step. Okay, finally we can go to our problem 12. So as you can see that I got this one wrong. I'll show you why I didn't get it right. Okay, so here it says a test consists of 10 true and false questions. To pass the test, a student must answer at least 9 questions correctly. So true and false means the probability you get one of a question correct is 0.5, right? Because you only have 2 possibilities. So here I got the p, probability of answer correctly is 0.5, and the total number is 10. So to pass the test, you must answer at least 9 questions correctly, which means I need to find the probability x greater or equal to 9, right? This is a binomial problem, so we'll go to StatCrunch, use stats, calculator, binomial. I put 10.5 and greater or equal to 9. Here's point, so here's why I'm wrong, because I didn't pay attention to the rounding. See, when you round to 3 decimals, here's 7, so you should have 0.011, right? 0.011. But I didn't pay attention to the 7, so I just put points, which of course is not right. Okay, 13. Find the probability of at least 2 girls in 9 births. Assume that the male and female births are equally likely and that the births are independent events. Okay, so this is a typical binomial model again. So you're told the probability that the girl birth is 0.5 and total number is 9, and you are asked to find the probability x greater or equal to 2, because at least 2 means equal to and or greater than 2. So I think we still have the binomial open, right? So you put the 9, 5, 2 here. So you get 0.9804, 9800. It should be 9805, right? But I get 0 here. I don't know why this goes that way. But A is the closest answer. I will choose A. Let me try, maybe they are just using greater sign. It's not right, yeah. We are right. Or just use greater or equal. Yeah, this answer is right, but I don't know why they don't put 5 here. 14. Okay, this one on the multiple choice test with 29 questions. Each question has 4 possible answers, one of which is correct. See, you have 4 possible answers. Only one of them is correct, which means the probability that you have for question correct is 0.25. For students who guess at all answers, find the standard deviation for the binomial random variable, the number of correct answers. So for the binomial model, the standard deviation is square root NPQ. So square root of NPQ. So I'm taking square root, and they tell me it's 29 because P is 0.25, Q will be 0.75. So just hit, I get this number 2.33. Yeah, you have to run 3 decimals, 2.332. I think that's it. Do we have more questions here? Nope. I think I talked about all the questions. If you still have a question, you're welcome to come to G29 and ask for help. I hope this video will be a little bit helpful if you don't have time to come. And I will try to make more videos as long as my time permits.